these two bolts up front, they're 10 millimeter. What's this? Did they change the size of a bolt there? Let's see if a 12 has it. Bingo. So on mine, one is a 10, one is a 12. Gonna go ahead and work that back, pinching the clip. You can use a screwdriver to pop this off, but once you start lifting it up, it'll just like snap right off. It's really easy. And then in the back here, because it's right underneath, we'll get an 8 millimeter for that. I believe that's 8 millimeter. Okay, you can't see this bolt underneath, but it's an 8 millimeter. And you can loosen it up, and that just goes ahead and loosens that up from around the throttle body. Don't leave your bit in there. And oops, I bumped my head there. There we go. Sorry for the wobble. Remove your map sensor. And then we're going to go ahead and lift up. Like I said, this should slide right out. I may try remounting this camera to another position because of course it is on the hood. That was the only place available for now. But there is going to be a slight wobble in some of these videos because of it. Okay, then we lift up. Let me loosen it just a little bit more. There we go. It's out the way. And that little sleeve there, it sits on top of the throttle body. I will go ahead and put it back in here, so that way when you put it back on, it just slides right on. Right, moving on. And don't drop your screws. Okay. That's off to the side. Now another thing that I want to do as I'm moving along here, because sometimes when I start this car up and then I turn it off, I hear this sound like something is, losing some pressure somewhere. And while I don't have a check engine light of any kind, I'm going to go ahead and do a smoke test on it just because I want to see if in fact there's a vacuum leak somewhere, and if so, while I'm tearing this whole thing apart, let's do it once, okay, so that way we don't have to do it again. We can have the most amount of pleasure out of just being able to drive and go places. This right here is a homemade smoke machine. As you can see here, it's a glove, some tubing, and a glass jar with a soldering iron and a couple of old socks. Easy to make. Maybe I'll do a video on it, but there are videos of it on YouTube. You can watch. That's how I learned it. And it definitely helps out because it helped me to find a vacuum leak on one of my other rides. So it does come in handy. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this clip. Being that this is on there pretty good, I'm thinking it might give me just enough of a seal. So I'll go ahead and put this glove around the opening, and also I've got a big enough hose clamp. Well, hey, I could use that. Yeah, I could use that. Crank that down. That should hold it. Yeah? Alright, let's do that. So we're going to back the screw out. And another thing too is I'm going through and doing this. I'm going to be cleaning my parts with brake cleaner because I like having a clean engine bay, and I like all the gunk and dirt and dust and all that stuff to not be there. So, yeah, I'm going to be going ahead and removing some stuff. Okay, so that does have the solenoid on it. Alright, we'll clean that up. So we'll go ahead and take that off. I'm going to slide it over so that way it's on this side, and then I can just tighten it down after I get back the screw. Let me get that, and for that I have a magnet, so let's see where it's at. Let's see if we can get it here. Okay, let's see if it's under the car, number one. That's always the best and most obvious place for a screw to fall. Get that gunk off my magnet. Okay, let's see. Let's see, can I get what in there? Okay, well, let's try to lift it up and go ahead and remove it. In the meantime, I'll just switch to a hose clamp so I can keep this thing moving. I remember where I dropped that screw. Ha ha! Alright, it's not going nowhere this time. Let's do this again. Set this back here. And then I'm going to take the mouth of the glove, stretch it out around this throttle body mounting. Okay, and I'm going to slide this over it. Hope that this gives me enough clearance to really clamp it down. Just enough so we got a nice tight seal. Will that work? No, not quite. Well, we'll try it as it is. Maybe I don't need to. I think the last time I didn't need that, but I'm going to need to fill this up using a bicycle pump, which I have inside. So let me go grab that, and I'll be right back.